Australia's ANZ to buy Suncorp bank arm for $3 billion. Slim hole with rivals Australia and New Zealand banking group is shopping for the banking arm of insurer Suncorp Group for $4.9 billion Australian dollars, $33 billion, as the smallest of Australia's main creditors seeks to restore increase at domestic after falling at the back of competitors. The deal announced on Monday will boost ANZ's retail presence in a fast-growing domestic vicinity and increase its property in mortgages, the most money-making business for Australian banks, by means of nearly a fifth, helping it to overhaul National Australia Bank (OTC) NABZY Limited for one-third spot inside the agency. ANZ had formerly increased hastily in Asia, which it has been unwinding during the last few years. It lags Commonwealth Bank of Australia (OTC), CMWAY, Westpac Banking (NYSE), WBK Corp and NAB with the aid of marketplace fee and some other metrics. It's now not offshore, it is not far from their middle skills. In terms of acquisitions, this is not a horrific one, said Hugh Dive, leader funding officer at Atlas NYSE, ATCO Funds Management, which owns stocks of ANZ and Suncorp. ANZ objectives to raise $3.5 billion via issuing new inventory to pay for the deal, in Australia's largest fairness capital elevating of this 12 months. The buyout, that is concerned to regulatory approval, will enhance ANZ's mortgage e-book by means of $47 billion Australian dollars to $307 billion Australian dollars. It indicates how vital mortgages are to Australia's banks even as rising interest fees and cost of living pressures throttle residence fees, with many economists forecasting a recession inside a year. ANZ neglected most advantages of a COVID-19 pushed actual property growth that noticed home values bounce by way of one quarter in the year to early 2022 due to delays in processing programs, analysts have stated. The lender stated separately it had dropped talks to shop for accounting software maker MYOB from private fairness firm KKR & Company NYSE, KKR. ANZ had disclosed the talks every week ago. ANZ's acquisition appetite is troubling, given developing recessionary risks and ANZ's terrible operational performance up to now, Jefferies analyst Brian Johnson said in a Customer Observe. The ANZ Centre franchise is already suffering, and adding extra complexity during a length whilst MQG is using up deposit charges looks ill-disciplined, he delivered, referring to mortgage challenger Macquarie Group (OTC), MQBKY Limited. Shares of ANZ have been untraded as the bank readies its new inventory problem. The new stocks had been being offered at $18 Australian dollars and 90 cents each, a 12.7% discount to ANZ's last charge of $21 Australian dollars, 64 on Friday, in line with its filings. Shares of Suncorp, which has been trying to offload an asset deemed non-core, rose 5.7%, in opposition to a broader marketplace benefit of 0.6%. The business enterprise will go back maximum of the sale proceeds to shareholders. Antitrust review. The deal might represent a geographic expansion via Melbourne-headquartered ANZ into Queensland state, in which Suncorp is based totally and has most of its company. ANZ sees itself as underrepresented in Queensland and could preserve the goals headcount and branding within the country for at the least some years, ANZ mentioned. ANZ would additionally decide to funding a number of strength and infrastructure projects in Queensland, which include some tied to the 2032 Olympic Games in its capital Brisbane. The deal would create a less complicated, stronger platform for increase that does increase our strategic goals, ANZ CEO Shane Elliott stated. The buy charge amounted to 13.8 times beyond earnings for Suncorp's banking unit, ANZ said, under the price-earnings ratio of Suncorp's average organisation, however, inside the variety of Australia's primary banks. Suncorp chairman Christine McLaughlin said the agreed rate fairly values the bank and displays the progress made on delivering our strategic goals. The deal affords the most important venture up to now for new antitrust regulator Gina Cass-Gottlieb, who started as chair of the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission (ACCC) in March. In an assertion, the ACCC said its evaluation of the deal could include the position of nearby banks and competition with the majors. We will remember Suncorp's role as a powerful competitor and challenger to the primary banks in Queensland and in other states, an ACCC spokesperson mentioned. ANZ's Elliott said on a call with reporters that the bank was hoping its fame as the smallest of the predominant banks could assist steady approval. We sit up for making the case, however we will work through that over the approaching months, he stated. $1 equals 1.4734 Australian dollars.